Yo, thank you for coming back to another Hamza Khan show video. I really appreciate you guys coming back again to another video. Um, the last real good guy is now our undisputed WWE champion, and I'm hyped because that main event of Night of Champions was amazing. It was such a good It's told such a fantastic story from the entrances all the way to the finish. I loved each and each competitor in that match. The crowd were very involved and they were loving. The support for Sami Zayn was really there, and it was a unexpected moment. I feel like everybody had a kind of what if Sami wins, but no one truly believed it. But Sami winning was definitely the right move at the right moment. Of course, we'll see what the follow up is, but the feeling towards it, really, really well done. We'll talk about, because everything leading up to it, the last couple of weeks, everybody's been a bit unsure. It's been entertaining. Is Sami Zayn a heel? Is Sami Zayn really the good guy? Is it just the fans are not as receptive to Sami Zayn? And I feel like it's such a kind of po- poetic kind of thing that Sami Zayn, most of his career, the big part of his career, he's always been that typical underdog, that typical good guy, and it took him to. He was still the underdog, but his feeling and his attitude towards the match was totally different, and you saw that leading up to it in the promo battle between him and Cody Rhodes. You felt the emotion, you felt the anger, you felt the way that Cody Rhodes was talking down to him, with it. Gunther was talking down to him, and they all looking past him. It just kind of exploded, and in that match there were so many moments that kind of, I feel like every single opponent, Gunther, Cody, Sami, they all had their moment. They all had that time where, is this where Sami wins? Is this where Gunther wins? Is this where Cody retains? And it was a kind of, it was masterfully done. It was really well done and enjoyable, um, across the board, especially with how they presented Sami in that match. I really enjoyed the fact that there was no interference. There was no kind of tomfoolery, the kind of expected stuff. It was a case, technically, Sami won clean and he pinned the champion in that match, and the crowd reaction afterwards was wow. It was so well done, and I'm so happy for Sami Zayn. I'm glad he won. I'm looking forward to what goes on for the future now. Who is Sami gonna face? Is it is there a possibility that it is over, or do we have, or is does everything change? Um, it'd be very interesting to see what happens going forward, how the bloodline will react to it, because we know that on Monday, Roman Reigns will be there on Monday. So how will he react to Sami Zayn winning that championship? Because technically, the bloodline does have all the gold in terms of those top two championships, and that was the kind of mission statement given to Jey Uso. But this time, it seems that but Sami Zayn is the one who won, and I'm really hyped with it. I really enjoyed that match. That much, it was definitely match of the night compared to everything else in the card, which was good. There was no complaints with the rest of the card, but that was definitely match of the night. Feelings, emotion, it had it all. The crowd, the entrances, the moments within the match when I believe it was Gunther who got Sami into the powerbomb position, and Sami was able to roll into a powerbomb of his own. Amazing moment. The whole table spot, which I felt like it was a really good table spot. We've had recently skeptical ones, and it's not been as impactful, but those table shots were impactful with Sami going for the pile driver on Cody, failing. Cody puts Sami through the table, and then Gunther coming out, two power bombs, putting Cody through the other table, and that kind of slight wink of where there's a water bottle, and Sami stands it up, and he it was so funny. Oh my god, really a good match. I'm happy about it. I'm like the decision with it. It was different. It wasn't the same old. It puts a spanner in the works, and I don't see a situation where you get any boos for Sami Zayn winning that championship. Like at the end of the match, I know it was a Saudi crowd and they were shouting, "You deserve it," and he said, "Damn right I do." But this is Sami Zayn, 10 years in the making. 10 years he's been in WWE chasing the big one, and failed 10 times. He's tried to get the championship. It was not even like at the beginning of the year, he said that he was speaking to his father, his son, sorry, and he was when did have you ever won the WWE Championship? And he had to say to his son, he hasn't. And his mission statement at the beginning of the year was to win the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship. And you had the match at the Royal Rumble where he lost, and everything built up from there, where you felt like he was crashing out. You had the everything with happening with the US Championship, um, but it was just so good. I really enjoyed that match, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens on SmackDown. SmackDown this week was really good. It had so many impactful story moments, and I really enjoyed it. The 2 hour kind of time frame helped, definitely, and hopefully they can keep it going and keep the momentum there, going forwards. Part Moving on, you had the bigger, I guess the storyline plots from King of the Ring. Trick won his match against Ricky Saints, which I feel like was expected. Ricky Saints, I feel like he will be US champion in the near future, but I don't feel like the momentum's on Trick, so we need to keep it on Trick. He's definitely that caliber of world WWE champion. He could be your main event tomorrow. That's how good he is. You had the Jade and Tiffany match. Um, I can't really remember who won in that match. Um, I think I'm pretty sure Tiffany retained. Yeah, Tiffany retained because of outside interference. Um, Decent, I guess. Um, the steel cage match, wow! Especially with what happened on Monday Night Raw, with the Street Profits being able to beat Braun Breaker and Braun Breaker and Austin Theory. Everything that happened in the match with um, Logan Paul being taken out because of Joe Henry appearing. You had the brass knuckles to the face of Austin Theory knocking him out, and then the Street Profits being able to overcome and win the tag team championships in another amazing moment, another kind of fantastic win for this Street Profits, and it feels like a momentum change in that tag team division that hopefully we can kind of build upon towards something special at SummerSlam. Um, Especially with what's happening in the SmackDown tag division, where they're looking to maybe unify, or you're seeing something between the AAA and the the SmackDown champions. Momentum could be there for something significant in the tag team division now that the division no longer has the championship, and you no longer need to, because they have the championship, you have to kind of protect them in a way, because these are your storyline kind of figures. But now they don't have it, it's less impactful. Um, and I feel like Street Profits winning it, especially with what happened with um, the not MFTs, the Wyatt Six earlier on in the, I believe it was last year, at the end of last year. Raw was really good at the end of the show. The interview between Corey Graves and Sami and Seth Rollins going towards a steel cage match, where Seth Rollins laid it all out. He was truthful, he was honest, he was real, and I felt like there was, as much as it was good in storylines so far, it was okay. There wasn't, for myself, it felt like it wasn't as real as it could be, and I feel like that interview made it feel real, and it showed you who Seth Rollins is. And that match, Seth Rollins coming out, he chucks all the kind of tools, the chairs, the kendo sticks, tables into the ring. We don't need shenanigans. Threw the back to all there, and then that picturesque moment where he's sitting in the chair, it felt for me that signal, that seriousness of Seth Rollins, that kind of the architect, the guy he's made a plan, he's ready to execute that plan, and it just gave off aura. In my opinion, it gave off real, and it gave you the Seth Rollins that we love. And I feel like who matched the energy was Braun Breaker. He came out, he did the exact same thing. He had that jacket on, um, and he did his thing in the match. But Seth Rollins was able to overcome in and kind of win that match, and we could hopefully. They tend to do it often where we feel like it's over the storyline, and then it gets dragged on a little bit more. L- Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is where that kind of the Seth Rollins kind of Braun Breaker storyline ends, and we see for the Vision them kind of scrambling and kind of unsure of what to do, where to go, and how to deal with what's how to be the Vision. I want to see that on Raw. I feel like that is where you would go for the Vision going forwards, so that you can kind of, because of all the injuries, because of things getting messed up and things kind of you having to pivot, it's a maybe a starting fresh point for the Vision, for them to build towards um, that big impact, hopefully at next year's WrestleMania and going forwards. Um, of the back of that, you had the Io Sky versus Liv Morgan match, which is, if you have Io, if you have Io in a match, it's always going to be great. Smashed it. Io won. Unexpected moment was two things really. Danhausen cursing Liv Morgan. Maybe it was a kind of excuse to have your world heavyweight champion lose, but so that you can still kind of work towards a significant match at SummerSlam. But it was not like I did not expect that EO would straight away just go ahead and pick Liv Morgan after winning the King of the Ring, which was unexpected. But I think that comes off the kind of unsure and kind of not the unsure and the kind of like the skepticism of what's happening with Ripley. I don't think that's the right word, but whatever's happening with Rhea Ripley, I think because she's quote unquote injured, um, probably not super serious, but is gonna keep her out for quite a while. You don't want to really bite into the EO versus the EO and Rhea match, and maybe they're building towards something with EO and Rhea crown jewel, and we're having that crown jewel match. Who is the true champion? Maybe that's where they're going with it. We do have they've not announced it, but I feel like there is going to be probably a Evolutions pay per view soon. So maybe something happens there. Um, but we'll see. It's kind of a weird kind of time because we don't have that money. Normally, we'd have the money in the bank involved, and we don't. So I feel like it's strange times going forwards. Um, yeah, that was the Queen of the Ring. Good match as well. Really enjoyed it. And then they had the other match with Oba and Jay, which was it was good. It wasn't, but it wasn't anything special. It didn't show the special side of Jay. It showed how strong Oba Femi was, which is you. Which if the way is to push Oba Femi to the to the moon, you can't necessarily have Jey Uso win without interference. There was no interference in the match, and Oba was able to win clean. Um, it felt like the emotion for Oba winning was really impactful, and it felt like a really big moment for him in the ring. So going forwards, we've got Oba as King of the Ring. So who who is the champion you're gonna pick for him to face? Is it Sami? Is it Roman? Does Sami still have the championship by SummerSlam? I hope so. But if he runs into Obafemi, I don't feel like he's gonna keep it after SummerSlam. Where's Brock Lesnar involved with this? What's going on there? Lot of questions going forwards with Oba winning, and I know a lot of people said that. Even myself, I was like, Jay winning, it's probably a good storyline kind of move, but Oba winning might just be even more impactful and um, more interesting um, because who is able to beat that Obafemi? Is it if you're picking Roman Reigns, the bloodlines going on currently? Do you really want to lose Roman Reigns as your champion? I heard from not Sam, he was saying that Oba gives up his championship match so that he can face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Is that what you do so you can delay it? Mm, I guess it kind of matters what the reaction is to Oba winning. It's gonna be loud, but is it okay to delay it further and see what happens? But it'll be interesting to see what goes on from there. But as an overall show, I enjoyed it, and that main event definitely delivered. Happy about it, and I enjoyed it. Coming off that, the bloodline, whoa, from Solo. Solo was getting, especially with what happened on Monday. So obviously you had the back and forth, which was really good between Jimmy and LA, where Jimmy basically said the thing that everybody was thinking, that I've been on your side. I've been kind of like, I'm not hating on you. I've not done anything to you. I've been like civil about this. Why the hell did you hit me with the steel chair? And Ellie Knight was just like, because you're bloodline. And I don't like the bloodline. Yeah. Which is Ellie Knight, I guess. But they have the match. It's Ellie Knight versus Jimmy Uso. And here comes Solo, especially with what happened on SmackDown with the threats from Roman and Jacob. Here comes Solo. Simone Spike gives LA Knight the opportunity to hit the BFT, wins the match, screws over the Bloodline, screws over Roman. Solo does, and siding with the person they're kind of beefing at the moment with LA Knight. So that's what happens on Raw, leading all the way up until SmackDown, where Solo believes that with what his actions were on Monday, the MFTs were going to be good with it, and surprisingly they weren't. I didn't expect them to just break up with that. I feel like they've been teasing it. It's been like kind of like a, they're gonna leave. Solo's not gonna let them leave, and it's just a case of, we spoke to the elders. We're done, and they leave solo. Um, and I had a gasp from the audience. For that, when something's impactful, when you hear the audience gasp, and there's impact in there. Um, LA Knight comes out. He's trying to find answers about why Solo um, helped him. Solo comes out and he puts out one of his best. I feel like LA Knight's and Solo's kind of promo there was one of the best that they've done in a long time. Solo was really impactful. You felt the kind of the hate towards the bloodline, the way his emotions were. He didn't feel like a different person. He felt like a Solo that we've not seen before, which I feel like was really well done, and it's a kind of a Solo that a lot of people love, and we know how talented he is, and even the crowd was so behind Solo. They were singing along. They were saying, "Solo, what was it? Solo, Sikoa," something like that. It was, and then they were shouting, "I love you, Solo." He was getting the love. I don't know where they go from here. Is it a case where I really want to see a LA Knight and Solo tag team match against, I don't know, maybe the Usos, maybe Jacob and Roman, wherever it may be. Maybe you can have that Saturday night's main event. But I'm really, really behind Solo and LA Knight tag teaming together. Even if it's for a little bit, even if it ends up with a kind of like a kerfuffle, and like it just ends as normal, as we would expect, where they turn on each other. But Ellie Knight made some good points, and he's like, I've seen what Roman did to your brothers, and they joined him. Why would I trust you? Which is logical. It makes sense. Why would Ellie Knight actually join? But Solo's kind of argument, Solo's mannerisms, the crowd reactions when Ali Knight was like, "Should I tag team with Solo Sokoa so that we could deal with the bloodline?" And everyone said, "Yeah." I really wished if Solo just didn't say yeah. and he just let the crowd say yeah, and it put LA Knight in the back foot. Obviously, he said no, but yeah, I'm like what I'm seeing with Solo. I feel like getting him away from the MFTs is good. Let the MFTs focus on the tag team division maybe and deal with that on their end. But Solo now being that solo enforcer guy. He's on his own. He doesn't want to be with the Bloodline. He ain't going back to the Bloodline. If you want him to go back to Bloodline, he's gonna spike you every single time. And Solo's gonna do his own thing. He's gonna push himself. And we no longer see that boy Prince. We no longer see the leader of the MFTs where he has to he's focusing on the MFTs. He's focused on Solo and Solo alone. And we've seen kind of shades of it throughout the year where he does well in the John Cena tournament. He does well in certain situations, and he is entertaining, and he's really well done. And something is there for Solo, and I'm happy with what I've seen, and I'm really enjoyed the wrestling this week. I haven't been able to watch AAA. I wasn't able to finish off NXT. Um, I would expect them to be good as per usual. No complaints there. If once I watch them, but yeah, Sami's our guy. He's won the championship, and Solo is solo now, which is good. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Really enjoyed this video. Um, myself, I had fun. Hope you guys did too. If you really liked it, leave a like. If it was really bad, dislike it. Leave a comment. Don't leave a comment. Um, lock in. Love. Peace.